Yeah.
So he's not alone the whole game.
Yeah, I don't think Inspire's going to be playing or ever going to play Skarner again after that game.
He's had enough for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we see the early bans coming through, the Casio ban, I like that just because we know it's a quad, like...
A classic.
So, yeah, something he's super comfortable on, something they might save for a red side draft. Pantheon's going to remain off the table, which I also like because, sorry, Doklo, we did see how they piloted that yesterday, and I thought Disamis and Mireu did a really good job there.
I do wonder if they will keep banning out mid laners, VKS. They have done it throughout the series. They banned Oriana earlier, they banned Cassie now. Maybe Victor is the last champ that Quad has that he plays in almost every series. He often plays the whole lineup of control mages.
Yeah, this kind of raised the priority a little bit of Ryze as a pick.
Aurora as well.
Aurora's a good one too.
Well here.
They could ban one and then trade the other two, pick the one that they prefer. Sai is often picked against Aurora. Saw that in the LCK finals last night.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, this
is pretty good against it when you have double AP solo laners.
Yeah, also Bwipo comfort pick, so they're going to take it away.
Good swap champ as well, like you mentioned before.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Fly just don't remove the Aurora. It has been one of their prio bans this entire series. I actually fully expect that it might be coming through unless they think they have a really specific red side answer to it.
Is a champion that fits the chaotic description. You know, Aurora can come from different angles. The flex pick, the Sejuani ban is interesting.
All right, so
might be
Aurora
a
is up.
Ban. They might be worried about the Sejuani Silas from VKS. I saw that from Quid yesterday, playing the Silas with the Sejuani jungle. Very strong 2v2. So they are giving over VKS first pick choice of, I imagine, Ryze, Aurora. It's going to be one of the first picks, unless I want to play a Yone comp.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Yone on first pick, but...
Sejuani is also a good ban for Yone, so it does make Yone a bit worse.
With like 30 champs off, and Aurora being the pick.
Yep.
What would be a response here for you, Dokla, if you're in this situation?
Most likely Ryze. I think you just have push in the lane and you scale well as well. And yeah, you just handshake the lane and see you in team fights.
Bwipo is a known Ryze player top, so they could flex it the whole way and just see wherever the Aurora goes, the Ryze goes.
Yeah, and that is kind of the other strength of a potential FlyQuest red side draft. As we see, Ryze locked in as we anticipated. And we're never going to believe the inspired Nidalee hover.
And I do wonder, whenever you get to game 4 or 5 and you've just basically abused every AD jungle pool here, like what the next AD jungler is going to be. The Viego ban came through last game, so there is a fear of Viego being picked in this game as well. But outside of that, you get really, what, like Lee Sin?
Yeah, you got
Kiana, I guess, if we
like
play them.
Lee Sin, Kiana, kind of like Neferi champs. It gets really funny really fast in games 1-5.
We have seen things in Game 5s that we didn't want to see in scrims sometimes.
Very true. As we have highlighted the potential of Aurora to flex and additionally the Ryze to flex, I do want to point out, he hasn't played in a while, but Quad has played the Lucian mid
the Lucian
as well.
Don't get your hopes up. That one's going bottom lane.
But I feel like I need to cover all my bases.
Okay. Yeah.
As we see that Aurora is going to be going mid as the Jax is locked in for Boal on the top side.
Wonder if they pick their full top side here instead of ball into the 4-5. Expecting a brown pick from FlyQuest probably.
I've seen some Jax blinds in the past. This one, there's just a lot of, like, of course, top laners that are already exhausted in the pool. What's your thoughts on the Jax pick, especially with the Sejuani ban?
Yeah, Bwipo is a known counter picker. He might go for like a Gangplank, Garen if he's really cooking. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to go here because he could even do something like an Urgot.
I really like the Rakan pick from Trymbi because he's expecting FlyQuest to pick the Lucian Braum combo, and Rakan is obviously very good against both Lucian and Braum. So that's a smart pickup here. FlyQuest isn't really known to play Nami or Mireu with Lucian or in general. So he kind of might just counter himself here with the Braum or just pick Bard. Not a known combo, but a very good Bard player.
Okay, there it is. There's Bard locked in. It's a fan favorite for sure, especially for Busio. And I'm going to ask you this question as a recovering Garen addict. Is this, if you see these 3 picks, are you just locking the pick in?
No, definitely not. They have too much mobility for you to really want to go Garen here. I'm not sure exactly what the best pick here is. I would guess maybe Gangplank, maybe an Urgot. Since
he loves the Gragas too into the Jax.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think Gragas. Yeah, Gragas is something. It would be his first option for sure.
I've been on the receiving end of that one before. In one of my finals.
I've been on the receiving end too.
You're also familiar with that one.
I want you guys to talk through your feelings on the Gragas.
Yeah. So I was
anyway,
chance to come through for VKS, and then after that, I think the list goes down quite a bit. And
Xayah ban, pretty standard. When you see Rakan, you ban Xayah. See Xayah, you ban Rakan. Nothing crazy.
Actually, Sven, especially going into 4-5, you know, as an AD carry, a lot of splits, you have careers of just on 2 AD carries. Now with Xayah being banned, you're getting your AD on 4-5. Like, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's not a lot of good picks for Morttheus. It's kind of just like whatever goes, so it's up to him what he likes to play. He kind of wants to play something mobile here, so he doesn't get bar ulted on repeat and get caught out. But there's not a lot of mobile champs left. The Kai'Sa, Ezreal, Lucian, Corki, they're all out, so he might be looking for something like Xeri or Tristana even. Like, it's kind of whatever you prefer as a player at this point in game 4 and 5. It's just up to you what you like playing more than what's the best pick. You know, Ruler would pick Xayah if he could, or next guy will pick Xeri. Morttheus, I don't really know his style so well, so...
He did pick Yunara, and...
Yunara is not bad, I think. I think that's not bad, yeah. Lane would be a little bit hard, perhaps.
I'm curious to see what this second ban is here for VKS. They did ban the Gragas,
yeah, the Gragas is out.
Option.
And the Garen is out.
They banned the Garen. I mean,
they know Boal.
They know Boal.
They've seen the tape.
I want to project that Jax. Interesting to see the Silas ban coming out.
Yeah, also they thought it was a jungle Silas ban, or they think Jax is maybe going into the jungle or something.
That's what I was wondering, if they were covering for a potential Jax jungle.
I feel like FlyQuest's ultimates are really bad.
Yeah.
So it's not really a good Silas angle. So unless they're picking something with a really good ulti here, I don't know why they would ban Silas.
I think
that's a good ulti though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
There's
that's
the Maokai
why.
coming through.
VKS also would be very heavy AP if they picked Silas here.
True.
Yeah, Jax does considerable
Maokai
AP
ulti
as well.
is really OP, so it's fair enough.
If I remember looking at the stats throughout the entire year, Bwipo's counter pick rate pretty damn high. Would love to have 5 pick super counter.
Oh?
The Viego hover.
Oh.
Once again, was an expected pick, but I think picking Viego into Maokai Ryze would be really difficult.
It really goes one way or the other.
Yeah, either you get really fed and you're unstoppable, or you're pretty useless and you can't really get your resets going. And I think, you know, VKS comp is definitely a win more comp. If they're ahead,
A
they're
lot of
gonna stay
ADs
ahead.
have been attacked. Trymbi is actually a troll, I've realized. The entire series long, he's been hovering picks that he will not play.
I'm gonna guess Yunara or Xeri.
But that one, okay, he's once again, he's just teasing us. He's teasing us. I'm not going to bait.
He's hovering the Heimer every game.
While we're waiting on it, all of the top lane picks that we have mentioned have been banned except for one. Here's the Yunara. It's the GP.
GP,
Are you feeling
Urgot are the top 2 that come to mind for me for Bwipo. Outside of that, I'm not too sure what he'll play. It'd be a surprise if he goes something like a Jace, especially.
Spider is probably going AP, so some sort of frontline Urgot-ish would be not bad, I think.
I've liked the Urgot comps if you have like Kai'Sa and actual. There it is.
Yeah.
Has he found his wife? Yes, yet.
There we go. The Urgot locked in.
Nice.
Sven, what's your thoughts on the FlyQuest composition?
I feel like the first few was a bit whack with the Lucian, Ryze, Bard. It's a bit of nothingness, but I do like the Urgot. If he wins lane, it's mega break. You know, Ryze can like help him a lot in the early game. So if they win side lane, it's a good comp. I think they have Bard to move around the map, and Maokai can provide vision for them. So I think if they win side lanes, FlyQuest, they will take over the game very fast. But if they don't, they might have a problem.
Yeah, this is definitely a 1-item comp at least for FlyQuest here, where everyone spikes roughly at 1 item, and VKS, they have a really good teamfight comp and a lot of resets on this team, so I'm expecting a pretty bloody game around objectives here.
Emily, do you think it ends with this game?
I mean, this is a competition that I feel like FlyQuest can pilot really well. It's going to come down to me whether they do get that side lane pressure, because VKS have such insane snowball potential. But yeah, I slightly favor FlyQuest's comp.
All right, time to hear from the casters. Take it away. Game 4 starts now.
Thank you very much, Lounge. Welcome back, everybody. The first 2 games of this series were slow for about 15 minutes until FlyQuest won big fights at objectives and then snowballed the game away. Game number 3, VKS took it upon themselves to drive the action early. They found success, and in doing so, had the most dominant win of the entire series to keep these finals alive. Now in game number 4, they've got that reset potential the Lounge was talking about, and they're going to have to deal with FlyQuest for a second time in a row.
And I feel like we're seeing some really high-level League of Legends. The fact that they had the burden of execution on themselves in Game 3 and could accelerate against FlyQuest, the most patient, disciplined team we have in the league. And then also, just to me, watching this Game 4 draft with the knowledge we had from Dokkan and Sven and the draft mirroring it, these picks are picks that look like it could be a Game 2 or 3 draft. They managed to both find a level of comfort and cohesion, so I'm really looking forward to a well-played Game 4.
And speaking of these picks, we do have a lot of star picks for players. Mireu has been the centerpiece for this team a lot. Aurora has been one of the most banned champions versus VKS, third most banned over the entire split. Plus, on the other side then, you've got Busio's Bard, which has had highlight reel after highlight reel made about it. And so we are going to start to see some real fun stuff come out in this game. I think, Flowers, you will be happy with the pace of the action.
Yeah, and down in the bottom lane, one thing I'm immediately taking notice of, Summoner Spellbook for Trymbi, but the Electrocute on Busio's Bard really wants to play for that extra laning power alongside Massu's Lucian. Remember, Lucian is normally a champion who is associated with his best friends, Nami and Braum and Mireu. Bard is not in that friend group, but this time around, they're changing up the pairings, and I want to see how aggressively they can play the 2v2.
Yeah, Lucian making some new friends here. And I think most AD carries would like to make friends with Busio's Bard, because if you're on the receiving end, then it's going to be a bad time for you. Meanwhile, though, the mid lane that we were also looking at, Mireu is able to get the push in here with the Aurora, and the Aurora plus a Viego jungle has a lot of burst damage, so very threatening possibilities of picks, with both Aurora and Viego also having a lot of mobility that FlyQuest are going to have to respect when they're looking for vision around this mid lane.
And as much as we do want action, I feel like this is a bit of a threshold comp for FlyQuest, so there'll be a threshold of whether or not Ryze and Urgot can become durable enough to survive Viego Aurora burst. Because that's what VKS is going to be trying to do in teamfights. They have to approach from a lot of angles. They have to fight fast, whereas FlyQuest is a little bit more plodding in their engage. They want to kite the fight out with the Maokai. They want to Bard ult to prevent your engage, and then have the sustained damage of the Urgot and the Ryze later on.
Yeah, they definitely want to deny those resets to this VKS comp. Meanwhile, Bwipo on the Urgot, we saw he just goes in. This is what you want your pushing top laners to do. Gets vision on enemy jungle. The confirmation over there.
So one thing I want to remind everybody about Urgot, because he has different level power spikes from a lot of other champions, level 9 is much larger for him than some others because it makes Purge become a toggle instead of a cooldown ability, and level 13 is also huge on this champion.
What about level 3?
It's your final upgrade on your shotgun knees, but those shotguns, it's hard to stay in close range when you're forced to flash back underneath the turret. Disamis, again, putting pressure on early. It's not a first blood this time, but it is the flash out of Bwipo.
Yeah, that's really great for Disamis. Still is able to get an early flash burn, even with getting scouted out a little early in this game. Still, plenty of time, goes and gets the bottom side Scuttle Crab and just go for his reset, clear back up towards top side because he cleared from top to bottom before. So you can just position yourself once again to now try and prey on this flashless Urgot.
Yeah, and getting Boal in a position to play aggressively is pretty huge. Busio just trying to be a little bit cheeky before collecting those heals.
Yeah, look at that little reset there, interrupt by him, and the minions, I believe, did group up pretty nicely in the aftermath. That looked very even down there. It doesn't really matter. So we'll see about the second recalls, because we're heading back and should just be full clears once again.
Yep, just making sure that our junglers can stay farmed up here.
Look at this, though. Trymbi's taking his support recall timer to head up through mid lane, as is Busio. So it's kind of mirroring the Bard possibilities here, knowing that Busio is going to look to make some action.
Yeah, not to mention both teleports already burned mid lane, so if you can get a small advantage, it's one of these games where I feel like if Ryze gets gold, that's the best path towards FlyQuest victory, so I think Busio's going to make a lot of visits to mid.
Ooh, that Cosmic Binding just barely missing out on Morttheus there. Trymbi going to follow through on the Magical Journey, but does not find the Gleaming Quill. Those Cosmic Bindings, it looked like that shouldn't have probably hit anything, but I've seen those hit before and attach to the wall, and if it does, you take a lot of damage from it. As Disamis, once again, going to be up here on the top side. Bwipo tries to make space here with a disdain. He'll lose half HP, but he stays alive. Problem is, that that wave is in a real bad spot, and he's already used his teleport.
Yeah, he nicely buffered the stun there, so gets his dash distance and does remain safe. As we set up, though, the Viego clearing up towards the side, it does put, as you say, a lot of repeat pressure here onto the flashless Urgot, and since Boal's got his wave nicely in front of his tower, he's got easy access to his money.
Yeah, nice fog there by Quad running towards the side lane to allow Bwipo to shove that lane out, kind of rescues that gank.
But the problem is, Quad is 1 minion away from hitting level 6 on the Ryze, so the Realm Warp was not available. Boal also hitting level 6 first on the Jax, so even if they would have had the extra man, it could have been difficult there for FlyQuest's side. You can also see Disamis closer to level 6 on the Viego compared to the Maokai of Inspired. Bwipo steps forward there with a quick trade onto Boal. Again, remember, once he hits level 9, that Purge becomes a toggle. Until then, you are still using it as a cooldown-based ability. Disamis wants to take this second crab. This will be level 6 if he secures it. If Inspired takes it, level 6 for him instead. Scuttle Crab at 1400 HP. Bwipo gonna move around here, try to help his jungler take this, but no, it belongs to VKS. Just barely misses out on having the level 6 there.
And I'm really curious to watch Inspired specifically in this game because, Flowers, you and I were talking between games about how that Skarner performance looked really underwhelming by Inspired, and he made a lot of fairly questionable plays that almost looked like tilt plays. And as much as Inspired is the best player in the West, in my opinion, he's still human. And to me, his weakness is he is a bit of a tilter. There's been games in Split 3 where the team is not doing the things that he wants to do, and he will almost die as punishment. I can think of a specific game in Split 3 where he just started hitting Dragon because he wanted the team to come, they didn't come, and he died. That's kind of what that last game felt like to me, where they were just hoping for a 0-kill to 0-kill game. Quad dies to an early gank, Busio gets caught in River, and suddenly the game is in a bad state. So I want to see if he's able to untilt, recover, and put up the type of performances that we're used to seeing from Inspired as the player of the year.
And one thing that I want to point out with him, usually when you see Maokai's, one thing that you can tell about their build, they almost always go with the Leandries first for that little bit of extra damage, extra harass there on the saplings, but then sometimes you follow up with more AP, sometimes you follow up with tank. He's got the blue smite, which is more of a utility type of smite compared to the red one, so I feel like this is going to be more of a tanky Maokai, depending on Lucian and Ryze and Urgot to deal all the damage.
Yeah, at the very least here, going to go into Leandries first and get some of that burn, make the saplings super annoying at the very least.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he's definitely a tank. You know, another tank jungler is very team reliant as they start up the Grubs and Busio.
Oh, Busio hitting Mireu as now the calling forces the flash. Without that summoner spell, Massu would have got the kill, but Massu also took a ton of damage there from the turret, meaning he's down to 100 HP as well. Grubs have been started by FlyQuest, 1-1 as Disamis moves forward and steals away the second. 2 out of 3 Grubs claimed by the FlyQuest side, but there's more VKS members nearby, so that means FlyQuest aren't going to find any follow-up fights. Or are they?
Got him.
VKS are the ones moving forward. Busio's in danger. He finds a stun on Disamis, and he manages to get himself away with both summoner spells.
Yeah, Busio, he trades 1 flash for 2 of VKS as Disamis and Trymbi both go for the kill onto him. He still does escape with his life, and FlyQuest come away with 2 of the Grubs there. Ultimate being used by Inspired as well, kind of on the way out, but Trymbi actually teleporting down to the bottom side. Maybe makes a trailing play in that 1v1.
Might be looking to turn something onto Bwipo right here as Bwipo's just trying to get the wave in.
Yep, tries to use Disdain to get away, forced to flash. Nice moves from VKS.
Yeah, and overall, a lot of aggression happening in a 0-0 game. You can see FlyQuest not just trying to full stall, they're trying to make aggressive plays. This whole sequence started because Busio and Massu were almost able to kill the Aurora, so plays happening all around the map. You also notice how VKS really need to all in for that initial reset, and I feel like being down flashes on both the Rakan and the Viego is going to make that pretty difficult for them to do if we end up seeing a fight at this first Hex Tech Drake.
All right, well, we got pings already from FlyQuest to move over. Massu was able to get mid lane priority first, so he gets in there. They clear out 1 ward, but the controller in the back of the Dragon will stand.
Remember that in games 2 and 3, the first Drake was taken rather quickly. In game number 1, it was very slow. This one's not quite going to be as slow as game number 1, but it is still not going to be a soul rush type of game.
For sure, but I still think FlyQuest is going to be quite happy with what they just accomplished. They have 2 out of 3 objectives towards the feat of monster slaying, and I think importantly, the Ryze and the Urgot have avoided death early on, because it's really, to me, this game is still going to be about the Ryze. If he's able to get killed in the side lane, or if he's able to get really tanky, he will win the 1v1 pretty hard against Aurora if he doesn't get bursted by it. So really watch Quad and how well they protect him this game.
Yeah, and after his recall, that Ryze is going to try and push very heavily on top side, uses his teleport to get back out there, but it's the super deep wards behind him too. All over there, you see the blue wards from VKS, and right now, Trymbi is moving in.
They're setting the squad.
So they have full vision of this area, and they want to prey on him.
Okay, we'll see how safe he can stay. Just continuing to farm those minions for now. Trymbi's going to take his blast cone. Quad continuing to just posture aggressively here, but staying a little cautious.
Three-man gank on the way.
He stay? Are his spidey senses tingling? Maybe, maybe not. Trying to make the distance now, but immediately the engage coming out from Trymbi. Quad in danger here, tries to take the Realm Warp to get out! Quad, with the miracle escape, survives the 3-man collapse.
Ooh, cutting it close there. Flashes into the other side of the Realm Warp, does escape. Still VKS are able to get a tower plate off of it. What is going to be the response here from FlyQuest?
I mean, really good play. Normally when you see a 3-man dive in one lane, there's going to be a counterplay on the other side, but FlyQuest doesn't have that set up. So yes, Quad did escape, but they still get the plate, they still get the summoner spells, and they still deny Quad the gold.
Well, Massu should at least get 1 plate here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, down in bottom, the 1v1 continues between the Jacks and the Urgot. Still nobody dead in that matchup here just yet. Slight lead for Boal, but really nothing to send a postcard home about. Massu and Busio now going to try to put some pressure onto Disamis, maybe steal away a Gromp. Instead, they will just force it to reset, slow down the tempo of the Viego there. Inspired will now have the opportunity to take this top lane Scuttle Crab uncontested with the control given to him by his bottom lane duo. I mean, overall, not really meaningful gold leads anywhere in this game. The most meaningful is in the bottom lane there between the Yunara and Lucian. Massu has built up about a 300 gold lead for himself.
And Flowers, your Urgot here for Bwipo, fully maxed out Purge at the moment. He's been spamming it as he's walking back. It also synced up with his Black Cleaver timing on the Urgot, which is another big item power spike for him. So we'll see if there's any sort of play on the other side of the map, because we mentioned all the wards from VKS on top side, but bottom side is the side that is lit up for FlyQuest. And they've got some deep vision here around this red. Disamis, I don't think he knows
Trymbi
about the wraparound.
top.
Yeah, Trymbi wants Quad yet again. He should find him there with the edge of the grand entrance, but it's not serious damage this time. You still get the quick, snappy Aurora burst, but Quad's a very tanky Ryze.
And this is what we're talking about. Disamis, they're trying to attack him on his Krugs. He got the big Krug.
They get his ult, actually.
Yeah, defensive Heartbreaker to get back in the range of the turret to make sure that they can't try to full commit to just take him down.
So it's a little bit of a map trade right now where Trymbi has probably spent the last minute and a half top lane as they're threatening Quad, who's flashless, actually push him off the turret with the fear of getting dove by the full undodgeable Aurora combo if Trymbi had landed some CC. But he's going back in now.
Yeah, Quad's ready to step back up. Another Rune Prison there onto Trymbi. Quick rapid-fire machine gun of spells with the spell flux into the overload, forces Trymbi back with 25% HP.
And VKS know that Busio could be on the roam up the top side, and he indeed is. So they do back off after that.
Ooh, nice interrupt there on the recall. Tempered Fate from Busio, but you can see there the Viego mist from around the wall. The harrowing path saves Trymbi.
It does. Busio trying to be as annoying as possible onto Bard. I think the next big fight's going to be around the next Drake. But for me, in terms of the game plan, I like Vivo Cade Stars. They're heavily targeting the Ryze.
Ooh, and now
Busio does have flash.
Yeah.
They're heavily targeting the Ryze, whereas FlyQuest, I feel like, is making sure Bwipo's in a good state. But I still really feel like if Quad gets set behind, it's going to mean very good things for Vivo Cade Stars. So Quad on a bit of an island, I feel like, trying to survive this onslaught from Trymbi and Disamis.
To his credit, he's done a good job on that island, and is still staying, very, very, competitive for himself. Is working still towards the Rod of Ages completion here, so he can start that getting stacked up. But early Merc Treads goes a long way in survival and trying to outplay some of this pressure.
He might be stranded, but he's got a shelter, he's got some food, he's managed to build himself a fire. He's
investing in his 401k, I feel like. That's the tier and the ROA. He's like, no matter what, I'll still get some transforms later.
All right, now down in the bottom lane, Jatt, you already mentioned Bwipo hitting level 9, has the fully leveled up Purge, means he can toggle this whenever he wants. Level 11 now ticked over for the Urgot, so Fear Beyond Death up to level 2. That Urgot ultimate is actually such an insane teamfight mechanism if you get the big AoE Fear execute.
Interesting that they are showing the bottom invade from Busio, but Inspired is actually topside. So they're splitting their support and jungle moves at the moment for FlyQuest, and Inspired...
Massu wants to try to force something early. Morttheus with a tempered fate to keep Massu alive, as now the Maokai ulti comes in to try to back them up as well. Redemption to heal Massu, but Busio's now in danger. Mireu wants to go in between worlds, but he can't find the chance. Bwipo looking for the assassination, but he's not in range.
Are you kidding me? Busio's Bard is a cheat code. The fact that they lived through that after Massu flashes early and gets caught by Trymbi. Redemption, Bard ult, healing at exactly the right time, and that delays this 4v5 for Quad to get some damage on the turret.
Okay, it allowed the top side to get pushed in. Quad on Ryze does get the minions into the tower, got a little damage on it, and now he wants to contest.
Yeah, he dodges the grand entrance, but now Disamis, he lands the Spectral Maw. There's a redemption. Quad staying healthy, healed up through that one, and Quad's interference is enough to stop this Herald. Meanwhile, the entire time, FlyQuest is taking the Dragon. They're going to secure Drake #2 and the feats of Monster Slaying.
This is great for them, buying time with that fight mid lane. Quad then extending the tempo lead. Not to mention, they don't even have to trade this. They pulled off completely to the Rift Herald, which could potentially allow them to take it with their next tempo as Quad gets his Roa and teleports back on the map.
Yeah, more impressive stuff from him on the island there, delaying and stopping even the Rift Herald attempt. So no objective traded over on the bottom side, though.
Ooh, that was just barely out of range. Boal looking for the counter-strike with a half HP Bwipo.
Let's see now, because Busio maintaining vision and kind of roaming around to keep track of VKS. He's kind of also allowing Inspired to clear the rest of your camps because Maokai does not want to fall behind. Inspired keeping up very high farm on this Maokai because Busio is creating a lot of time, being annoying. He actually can keep on power farming through here, so is going to get the bop camps. Maybe he wants to play off of Bwipo. He has another Maokai ultimate ready to do so.
This is a game 4 that feels like a game 5 with no kills yet at 17.5 minutes. But now Inspired and Bwipo are going in after Boal. They immediately mark him with the Fear Beyond Death. Twisted Advance ready to follow it up. Into the grinder he goes. First blood for Bwipo.
And this turret is going to allow them to get feats of strength. The 2 Drakes, the 2 Grubs, and the turret. I love how this game has felt so tense as that is the first kill at 17 minutes.
Disamis coming down now, going to find Bwipo at the Krugs, but this is not a fight you want to take. Heartbreaker to safety, and Bwipo's not done.
Strong.
He's in a 1v2, and he likes the odds. Bwipo, so powerful here on the Urgot, now goes in for the disdain, point blank, but he doesn't have the damage. Bwipo overplays his hand and falls.
He flashed in because there was a third on the way. Let's see what FlyQuest can do with that pressure. Yes, he does go too far, but that was essentially 4 people that were drawn bot. Boal, who was killed, and the 3 who eventually killed Bwipo. So they kill top turret with Quad, and they start the Rift Herald, but likely have to back away.
Yeah, Bwipo got a Gatling gun, and he wanted to use it there.
He just wanted to keep using it, man. He got addicted to the feeling.
He chased off the Viego and got a little bit too hungry there. See about the ramifications of it. Will it be more than just the 1 kill for VKS off that?
And the critical thing about that, look at Bwipo's EXP. He's about 20% away from 13, and if he's level 13, the cooldown on each shotgun leg is halved compared to level 12. So it would have been so much easier for him to get that kill with just a little more EXP.
Yeah, but now he's got no flash, and because of the death timer, they're going to be late on this Rift Herald attempt.
Okay, Herald secured by VKS. Feeling good about that one as Inspired has to try to get away. Busio with a tempered fate, buying some time for the team. VKS now on the run as Inspired's ulti flies out. Boal again, locked up with a Fear Beyond Death. The culling comes through. Mireu's gonna be the target here. Massu flies in. He's going way far. Bwipo takes Boal out, and Massu stays alive. Disamis goes in for the first reset, but what else can he do? He dies. A double kill for Bwipo, and FlyQuest get a 2 for 1.
This game is on a razor's edge. You could tell Inspired was not wanting to give up that Rift Herald. He stuck around in a 2v4 and nearly gets one shot by this engage. I'd say Bards ultimate saves him to delay time for the rest of FlyQuest to arrive.
Exactly, the ultimate, and then also he landed the stun onto Morttheus right there before, so he got the cleanse out early, and then once Inspired fires off the ulti from his Maokai afterwards, allows them to chase through.
And then Massu, I gotta think that must have been a misclick. That is nearly suicidal. Ends up actually costing him his life, but it is traded for the Viego after he went in for the execute.
And technically, if we're counting up the extra cooldowns, the Viego flashed over the wall to make sure that he could get that. So that is an extra flash in addition to the 1-for-1, but it seems like it's not just Bwipo getting super hyped up in this game and going for blood.
Yeah.
Everybody is getting into the pace now.
And you can feel the tension knowing that VKS bounced back with that 22-kill-to-2 game 3. Even though this was the slowest first blood in the LTA playoffs, it hasn't felt like that. The pace of this game has been high as they're constantly trading tempo and gank attempts.
Big thing now, 45 seconds until the third Drake is live. Both Drakes so far have been secured by the FlyQuest side. Otacon also on the map, but he's on the opposite side of the rift. In the previous game, when VKS had all that early soul pressure, Otacon was right next door. It creates a much different situation compared to the split map. As Mireu steps up and level 13 Bwipo with those maxed out shotgun knees is waiting in the brush. Mireu already using the weirding. Bwipo tries to go in. Otacon gets aggroed. Fear Beyond Death finds Mireu, but where's the rest of the damage? They gotta try to take him low, and he's down! Busio gets the kill. Trymbi's got to try to get away, and FlyQuest go for the Tempered Fate. Disamis, beautiful disengage there with a Heartbreaker, but now Boal's got to be careful. FlyQuest looking for the Jax.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. He's in the alcove. He is trapped by FlyQuest.
Bramble Smash to slow him down immediately with a twisted advance. Boal is the target, but where's the rest of the damage to take him out? Quad finally arrives, picks up the kill, but the Rift Herald is summoned up here in the mid lane.
And Otacon is going to be FlyQuest. It's about what VKS can get on the other side. They've just given that away, knowing their true soul laners are dead, but they crashed the Rift Herald mid, and they're likely going to delay this soul unless Bwipo's feeling it. He's got a huge gold lead on this Urgot, and he's going in with Busio.
He's got Busio next to him, 4,000 HP here with the Drake. Bwipo steps up, but a TP's coming in for VKS. They're putting the damage into Bwipo, but he and Busio want to go on a magical journey away.
That's one.
Trymbi's first to die. Bwipo's in a killing spree, but it'll be traded 1-for-1. The Dragon will lose its patience and head back home. Now Inspired's in the area, but there's nobody else that can show up in time.
He has ult. Do they want to go for a long play? They do.
Here comes the ulti. Inspired and Busio still around. Inspired walks up, but no, it is secured by Disamis. Quad has arrived. Is there any bit of cleanup? Inspired with a twisted advance. Busio's Tempered Fate. It stuns them both out as Disamis falls, and so does Inspired. Another kill goes over. Mireu is down, and FlyQuest have taken the Otacon, lost the Drake, the kills. 4-8, favoring Fly.
And in all the action, FlyQuest are the ones that come out on top, even with the Dragon taken by VKS. FlyQuest now have control of the map. Let's take a look at the re-engage. So the exhaust was used on Bwipo early, but then Busio creates the magical journey, and this takes everyone away from Dragon. Look how
it does.
low
The patience on Drake is so crucial here. Barely resetting to delay this re-engage. No Bard ult, but there is a Maokai ult, and Inspired is playing on that Razor's Edge, risking giving the reset to Viego, but the W to avoid the stun, and then the Bard ultimate as well to prevent that execute allows them time for Massu to get there. And yes, some pretty big gold going over to the Aurora with the Maokai kill. Overall, the play is in the favor of FlyQuest.
Yeah, Aurora stepping up there does mean that the Aurora also went down. So we are keeping up the pace here at FlyQuest. They do increase the lead a bit, but I think the biggest determining factor is going to be the Otacon here. With the pace of the game, we're going to get a lot of petals, extra petals off of kills too.
For sure, and I do feel like this game is in Bwipo's hands, which can be a blessing and a curse. We talked about earlier how Quad was left on an island and FlyQuest put the energy towards Bwipo. He's got that lead now, but he's really playing on the edge with it. He has delusions of grandeur in this game as well, trying to hard carry. He already went too far in the bottom lane. He did die in that Dragon contest 2v4 as well, so he's the one with the 2,000 gold advantage, and he's got to play well with it.
This is his favorite item spike in the game, is the Sterix Gauge that we're talking about. He loves to just throw himself into the middle of enemy teams now. So he's got upgraded magic boots here for the extra magic shield, plus the Sterix gauge shield for him. And it's at a breakpoint right now where Boal still doesn't have second item on Jax because of the large gold lead that Bwipo has. So FlyQuest might have some sort of timing where they can look to get their fight.
And another big item here, on top of the two 401k items that you talked about earlier, Jatt, with the Rod of Ages and the Seraph's Embrace for quad, he does have an unbroken Seeker's Arm Guard, massive playmaking tool. So both solo laners on the FlyQuest side have very powerful survivability items.
And also, in my opinion, the upgraded Mercury Treads from Feats of Strength are OP in the side lane, because any of these sideline fights are never one-shots, so you're getting multiple rotations of that shield. So quad against Aurora, and even the little bit of magic damage that Boal's Jax will do makes quad feel very strong inside.
Quad finds Boal here, and just look at the damage from the Ryze. Boal immediately just backing off. I don't want any of this.
Yeah, you can tell when the Jax spits out his ward like that, he's like very scared and knows he has to get away. So controller dropped down by their tower as well. And quad, this guy has done so well without a lot of focus from his own team, without a lot of extra resources. We're talking about the island. He hasn't even ticked over his Rod of Ages yet to full stacks, and he's already level 16. So he is going to get an extra bonus level there as well. He really has been commanding this Ryze in the side lane.
But I do want to go ahead and cash the expectations here for FlyQuest, because remember, VKS has a very powerful reset team. FlyQuest, we've talked about their discipline before, and despite the fact that they've built a powerful lead for themselves in this game, they must continue to stay disciplined.
Correct.
One big fight where Disamis gets an immediate reset, where Mireu gets a reset, where Morttheus is hitting multiple targets with the Runon's Bork combo. You've got a serious problem on your hands, no matter what the advantage might look like.
Quad just ticking level 17 with the Rod of Ages completion, and I just have this feeling, Captain Flowers, that this game is going to be decided by Bwipo. He's going to do something chaotic that Vivo K-Stars is going to try and counter, and that's going to be the thing that advances the game. It's that or the Dragon Soul, but with how confident Bwipo is, I think we're going to see Bwipo play first.
Okay, he goes in for a Q. Immediately, Disdain onto Trymbi, chasing after the Vivo K-Stars support. Bwipo leads the charge. Busio coming up behind him. Now FlyQuest looking to send in the whole team. Disamis could be in danger as the Maokai ulti swoops through. Trymbi is already dead. Morttheus follows too. Tempered Fate is not required, as VKS's jungle is a graveyard for Brazil.
As soon as he gets Sterix Gauge, you know he is throwing himself into the enemy team, and now FlyQuest will throw themselves at a free Baron in the aftermath.
And they can't relax here. They're trying to play off this power spike. Busio and Quad are going to go for turret and a kill.
Here comes the Realm Warp. Mireu, he shows up in time to at least try to cover a little bit for Boal, but the bottom lane tier 2 dies as Baron is claimed, and the FlyQuest gold lead doubles after that fight.
And they're going to want to keep their tempo up because Infernal Drake is still on the map, so they're teleporting back in and will not want Vivo K-Stars to be able to get tempo. So teleport, Inspired already setting up saplings. They're already thinking about the next play.
Keeping up that pressure. Let's see about the collapse. Do they want to try and punish anyone? Bwipo's just going to put some extra damage into the mid tower before they retreat to their dragon. This one, of course, is just soul point here, not actual soul for FlyQuest. So Vivo K-Stars should definitely not go contest that one at the moment. They are far outgunned. Just try and make a cross-map play, pick up an objective bounty if you possibly can.
Quad's Rod of Ages is now fully evolved. He is level 18, and nobody else in the game is even level 17. He has a fully completed Zhonya's Hourglass. This Ryze is an absolute raid boss alongside Bwipo in the top lane, who is 3,000 gold ahead. And Busio's Bard, who we brought up at the beginning, is also very far ahead, but the raid boss might just get shut down. Quad trying to wait as long as he can. He hasn't even used his Zhonya's yet, and they're just dropping bodies here in the top lane. Quad finally using that Zhonya's and the Tempered Fate to perfectly keep him alive. The flash of the wall. Quad still alive. Finally shut down by Morttheus. Inspired and Bwipo looking to get a little bit more back as Mireu and Morttheus try to escape. Inspired keeps pushing forward.
And Massu's ending the game.
Massu's ending the game at the same time. Lucian's in the base. with a barrel.
They could win right here.
Mireu and Morttheus cannot get away. Mireu tries to channel his recall. Bwipo is still chasing. Morttheus trying to kite it out. Trymbi finally back alive. Massu's got another minion wave coming up. FlyQuest will not end yet.
Quadmas almost comes early right there, and they're still chasing down the delayed kill onto Morttheus, just toying with them, making sure his respawn is as late as possible so they can continue to take advantages with this Baron. What a sequence.
Yeah, the map now is wide open for FlyQuest to take. Very big delay, 40 seconds left on the respawn here for Yunara. So it's going to be FlyQuest, reset and spend your money and get back out to duty.
Let's give Flowers a chance to catch his breath. That was about a minute and a half of absolute chaos as they try and go for quad. But this has been such a great series, Kobe, between the North and the South.
Yeah, quad created most of that time that he had to keep on casting for there. I mean, he's able to use the stasis. Then they have Busio following up the stasis with his Bard ultimate of his own. And even as FlyQuest come to approach to end this series, to end this game, I think that the South and VKS should be very proud of the year that they have had, especially, you know, with their international showing at MSI. This has been, you know, the best year for Brazil in a very, very long time.
Yeah, absolutely. With split one going 8 games to 1 for the North, this split has been 14 games to 7, and it's a big fight here.
Inspired is the target. He's taken down before anybody can save him as FlyQuest swoops in to try to get something back. But VKS are defending themselves. Everybody on FlyQuest very low. Bwipo's on a rampage though, and VKS are collapsing. Morttheus cannot find the damage. Disamis, the only one left alive.
That might be it.
Quad, Massu, and Busio. FlyQuest pushing forward, looking for the end of the game. Quad is low, but he can recall and teleport back in for the game-ending push. Disamis has to survive alone.
They're going to have supers crashing from the other side as well, so they want to end right here.
Disamis about to die. FlyQuest onto the first Nexus turret. They have been the best team in the North all year long. They have conquered the best team in the South twice in a row. Let there be no doubt. They are the best team in the LTA, and FlyQuest are your first and only LTA champions.
And based on the reaction, it feels like business as usual for how insane that game felt to watch. FlyQuest is calm, cool, and collected, and looking forward to their next challenger.
They really played into the action in that one. Bwipo there on the Urgot, charging in head first. Massu ending the game at multiple points there on the Lucian. And there it is, the LTA trophy. That is a beautiful trophy right there.
The legacy of this FlyQuest team in North America, winning Summer Split in 2024, winning Split 2, winning Split 3, and now winning the first and only LTA championship. They are the best team in the LTA.
What an incredible journey they have had this year. They have been the team to beat for everybody here in the North. Vivo Cage Stars seriously stepping up and rising to the occasion here to challenge them at the LTA Championship at the finals. But ultimately, they too could not conquer the task that was felling FlyQuest. This is the best team in the Americas. This is the best hope for the LTA heading into Worlds. FlyQuest will carry that banner proudly.
And their only slip-up really this entire year was the one loss to 100 Thieves in Split 1. Gatghost also getting to lift the trophy. He was a part of getting here with their 3-0 over VKS, but I don't want to underestimate how difficult it is for a team this dominant to stay this dominant, because the people that they're beating have so many more opportunities to improve, so FlyQuest just had to continue to keep the pressure on themselves.